Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexa and I post bookish content. Today I will be posting, today this video is the, as you've probably seen in the title, long-awaited 2022 wrap-up. So basically, I would have posted this earlier and filmed this earlier, but I went on vacation over Christmas break and it is now January 9th. I'm posting this later today because I want it to be up as soon as possible. So I read 175 books this year. I think only not only 8. A bunch of them were like rereads. So I'm not gonna go through like rereads and say, oh, I reread this book. So if you count every single book and you're like, oh, this isn't 175, it's because 1, there's rereads in there, and 2, I'm not counting any school books, but I did count them in my Goodreads goal. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm gonna go in month by month. Well, I'm not gonna say the month, but like I'm gonna go in chronological order of the books that I read. But if I read one book in a series, I'm just gonna like include it further in the video or earlier in the video, like the entire series. So yeah. So the first book that I'm not gonna, also just quick, I'm probably not gonna say just rating, just chronic. If I remember what I thought about the book, I'm just gonna say a few quick thoughts and that's it. So first, 2023, I read Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jayagurdar. I do not know how to pronounce that author's last name, but I like this book. It was a cute sapphic romance, so yeah. After that, I read Layla by Colleen Hoover. Didn't really like this book, it was really weird. After that, I read The Ex-Hex by, sorry, I have my laptop open with all the books I read, so that if you see me looking at my screen, that's why. The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I think I like this book. Yeah, I like this book. It was pretty good. After that, I read The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the second book in the Inheritance Game series, and I enjoyed that book pretty much. It was pretty good, not as good as the first one or the last one. And also later in the year, I read the, what was the last name of the book? The Final Gambit. It was pretty good. I loved the way it finished up the series. After that, I read We Had the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. I enjoyed this book. It was a buddy read with my friend. So if you're watching this, hi. I enjoyed this book. I love the enemies to lovers romance, like enemies to lovers romance in the book. And I haven't read the second book yet, but I really need to. Am I through? Okay, sorry. I had forgotten that I throw the books on my bed. It's natural for me to do it now. After that, I read Punk 57. I read it 2 times. The first time I read it, I rated it 1 star, hated it, because it was my first like darker romance. But the second time I read it, I enjoyed it. That's after I read more of Penelope Douglas's books, and saw more of their writing style. After that, I read From Lucca with Love by Mariana Zapata. That was my first Mariana Zapata book, and it was amazing. I read it in the middle of winter, January. It was snowy outside, and I was doing online school, so for that part of the year. So it was really fun to read it like during winter. And as someone who did I used to do figure skating, so that was pretty cool to see it in a book. So I really enjoyed it. I read it another time in February, I think. So yeah. After that, I read Ace of Spades. I remember the rating of this book. It was 5 out of 5. I couldn't stop reading it. It was amazing. Actually, I posted one reading blog I think this year, and that book was in it. If you want to see more of my thoughts for a few of these books, actually I think like 2 or 3 of these books are like in January that I read are in that reading blog. After that, I read 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott, Mickey Daughtry, and Tobias Lakanis, I think. Yeah. I watched the movie back in 2019, and I got the book in 2020. Hadn't read it until then, the beginning of 2022. Enjoyed it. After that, I read The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This was my first Lauren Asher book, and I absolutely adored it. I love all of her books, and I'm so excited for the upcoming release that she has in end of January. 5 out of 5, also as someone who is a Disney nerd, so yeah. So after that, I read Crazy Rich Asians. This is a good book. I think now I might give it, think about it now, I think I might have given it a 5 star or something, a 4 star back then, but I think now I would give it more of a 3.5. But yeah, it was pretty good nonetheless. After that, I read the Me Before You, well, two of the Me Before You books. It was good. I cried. I think I rated this one 4, this one 3. Cried a bunch of times. Really good, really sad. This is gonna be a long video. I'm sorry about that, by the way. After that, I read Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Great book. Kind of felt like, kind of brought me back to when I was like 12 and 12? Yeah, 12 in the year that I read The Fault in Our Stars 5 times, because why not? After that, I read a manga that right now I could not, the name is in Japanese right now on my Goodreads and I cannot remember the name, so if you can, future Alexa, maybe put the book right there. After that, I read the Throttle series by, Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. Once again, I love Lauren Asher. Oh no, I forgot to say, I read Verity. Pretty okay. Pretty good, but then when I read the bonus chapter later in the year, I hated it. After that, I read the Dirty Air series. Loved it. Probably one of my favorite series of the year. Got me into Formula One. I am now a raging Formula One fan, but I'm too broke to go to the race that is like 15 minutes away from me, because it is like $1,000 or $700 for the race day. So yeah. Anyway, enough about me ranting about not being able to go to the Formula One races. I reread the first 2 volumes of Heartstopper on Valentine's Day because I thought, why not? It's cute, it's romance, and it's probably my 7th time rereading them. Love them. I don't have the second yet. No, I don't have the 3rd and 4th yet, and I'm really sad about that, but that's fine. After that, I read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Once again, if you know me, know my channel, this is one of my favorite books of all time. Probably one of my like top 5 books of all time. Amazing, love it. Full standalones, but yeah. I've read it once again later in the year, in June. After that, I read that's a school book. After that, I read The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. Good book, cute, love it. After that, I read Hooked by Emily McIntyre. In the next 2 books, you can see that I got a Kindle in this period and I read a bunch of Kindle Unlimited books. So yeah, it was good, loved it. No, good, liked it, not loved it. After that, I read a manga called Our Dreams at Dusk. Cannot remember anything about it. After that, I read Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Cried. Now I think about it, I liked it. I like it less than I thought I did back then, but yeah. Then I read the Stay With Me trilogy by Nicole Fiorina. I read this based of an aesthetic TikTok, like read this book based on the aesthetic. And I recommend you don't do that with this book, because there's a bunch of trigger warnings that I didn't know. They didn't trigger me, but they would probably trigger a lot of people. So yeah, check trigger warnings, please, because I still am kind of traumatized when I think about some things. Anyway. Then I read Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Loved it. Love Iris. Then I read Regretting You, Colleen Hoover. Good book. Nothing more. Then I read Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I love this series. Like I read the Devil's Night series. Love it. Amazing. Check trigger warnings, please. Never would date any of these men in real life, but in the books it's fine. Then I read the Summer Turned Pretty series in one day, I think. It was really good. I was in my, in the month of March, I read 29 books. I was really depressed and anxious, but it's fine. So yeah, I read all 3 books before the series came out. Loved them. Loved the first one. Hated kind of like the second one, not that much though. Loved the 3rd. Then I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Oh wait, no, I forgot to mention a book before that. I read Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. Love Sally Rooney. This book was 5 out of 5. Made me cry. Every Sally Rooney book made me question my entire existence, but it's fine. It's what it's made to do. Then I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I haven't read any of the other books in the series, sadly, but I enjoyed it. It's good. Love the camping moments. Anyway, then I read Colorblind by, cannot read the name right now on my laptop, but it's a sapphic romance on Kindle Unlimited. It's cute. Cried again. I was in my also crying because of books era, but it was good. Then I read I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. Loved that book. cannot wait for the movie to come out this year, with Corey Fogelmanis as the main character. So yeah. And then I read I'll Be Home for Christmas, which is a novella from that series book. After that, loved it as well. Then I read The Falling in Love Montage, really cute sapphic romance, amazing, like it was adorable. After that, I read To Love Jason Thorne by Ella Mays. That was really, and like later in the year I read To Hate Adam Connor. It was a really good series. I love when books incorporate like celebrities, so I'm like, oh, maybe that's what it would be like to be a celebrity, and I like to imagine that sometimes. So yeah. After that, just gotta, because I put books in order and forgot that I would put series all together, so I got it struggling a tiny bit. Then I reread, and I read 5 of the books later in the year again. The Shatter Me series. I'm having a lot of trouble holding up. I love this series. Best series ever. I love it so much. I would adopt the characters if I could. I don't know, that's weird to say, but just once again, I love that series. After that, I read And They Live Happily Ever After by Therese Beharry, I think. Cute romance. It was good. Got it in like a blind date with a book at a bookstore. After that, I read Alex Approximately. Love it. So cute. I love the summer vibes. It was in March, so once again I needed the summer vibes. Then I read Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Good book. Not more than that, but I did enjoy it. And after that, I read the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I love that series with my entire heart. I love Pip and Robbie. Actually, on vacation, I saw a guy that looked like Robbie Singh, and I was about to die because, yeah, I'm in love with Robbie Singh. So, yeah, that is the first clip. I'm gonna go into the second clip because I have so many physical books. They're in piles over there at the like edge of my bed. So yeah. Okay, so after that I read the Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Love this book. So I was kind of in my anxious and depressed era when, like, in the month of March, March and April. My mental health was not doing well. You could see by the lack of posts, I think, that I did those months. But I read a lot and had no motivation to go to school, so I had like some school books, and this was one of the school books, and I absolutely adored this book. I went through it so fast. I was annotating it, and it's just such a cute book, and I want to reread it now. Like, I mean, I'm gonna reread it this summer for sure. But yeah, after that I read 2 of my favorite books of the year. Daisy Jones and the Six, and then Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't have a physical copy of Daisy Jones, but I really want one. I loved those books. I cannot wait for March 3rd when Daisy Jones and the Six releases, the TV show. It's gonna be amazing. So yeah, 5 stars I think for both. Then I read Throttled. Then I read the Raven comic by Kenny Garcia. It was good. I love that backstory of Raven, even though like it's not the true one in real life, but in the artist comics, I've loved their comics for a while. So yeah. After that I read Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This is a really cute romance. But at that time I think I rated a 4.5. I'm not sure what I would rate it now, but I completely forgot that I read that book. So yeah. Then I read Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. Like that book, won't be reading the second one. I'll keep that one as a standalone because I've heard a few people say that it's really bad, the second one. But yeah. Then I read another one of my favorite series of the year, the Twisted series. I only have the 4th one with me right now because the other ones I read on Kindle. So did I. I also did read the other ones, this one on Kindle, but I bought it in December. I loved every single book in the series. My ranking is probably Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies on the same level, Twisted Games, and then Twisted Love. After that I read this big book, Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott. If you know me, the movie is one of my favorite movies ever. That one, I have a few favorite movies ever, but I really enjoyed it. It was really good and cute and like made my inner child happy. Then I read The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This was recommended to me by a friend. It was by a classmate. This one was really good. I loved it. The science nerd in me was like freaking out. Then I read on my birthday, I read the first book of The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I watched the movie when I was like 10 or 12 with my mom. Loved it. Did not know it was books. So then I read this one. Then I have the second one that I haven't read yet. After that, I read The Atlas Six. That was such a good book. I loved The Atlas Six. I have not read the second one, but I really, really, really want to read it now. I also really want to read every other one, like every other Ollie B. Blake book, because they're really good. I love her writing style. After that, I read the Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy graphic novel. That was a cute graphic novel. It was quick. And yeah. After that, I read Hard Bones by Colleen Hoover. This was a fun summer read. Got me into the vibe of summer. I enjoyed it. I love the characters. After that, I read Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. If you couldn't tell by the amount of Christina Lauren's books I've read, I love Christina Lauren. They are my favorite authors. Well, not my favorite authors. One of my favorite authors. Some of my favorite authors. Technically it's two authors that write one book. But yeah, it was really cute. I love the characters, but I cried. After that, I read Rebel by Marie Lu. I want to make it my goal in life to read every Marie Lu book. I haven't read that many. Well, I mean, I read the entire Legend series, the Steel Striker / I forgot what the name of the first one is, but the Sky Hunter book. Read the first Wildcard book, but I really want to read all of her books. And her new one that came out. This one was a good epilogue novel. Kind of like solves all of my issues after reading the end of Champion. After that, I read Lovely War by Julie Berry. This book was so cute. I really loved it. I love the couples. It was a fun, cute, adorable read. After that, I read Tamarin and the Star of Ashita by Jasbinder Bilon. This was a cute middle grade fantasy book. I read it just because I had it and I was like, why not? But yeah, like I didn't adore it, but I didn't hate it. It was like cute, fun, but I haven't thought about it since. Like I literally forgot about it until I saw it on my Goodreads. After that, I read November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I like this book. Do not like the male main character when you find out about something. Just a little reminder, if you date a guy or like a guy who would treat you like a Colleen Hoover character other than Atlas, we love him, and Samson, we love him as well, but like in any of the other of her books, do not run away, run. They are toxic. After that, I read Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I love that book. I also, in fact, made a discovery that I love, the last year I made a discovery that I love romance. If you can tell by most of the books I read, I love also small town and single parent romances. This one is technically not single parent, but it was amazing. It was adorable. I loved it. I'm excited for the sequel. And then I read Under Lock by Mariana Zapata. This was I liked it, but it's probably my least favorite Mariana Zapata book, because they're just all so good. Yeah, I don't really have more thoughts about that. Then I reread Corrupt, Punk 57. After that, I read Last Light by Claire Kent. So this book I read off because of a random quote on TikTok, like most of us do. It was fun. It's like a post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic novel. It was cute. I enjoyed it. Yeah, well, it was cute. It was more like kind of freaky at some points, so like, oh my god, that could actually happen in real life. Then I read my first physical arc, Love Radio by Ebony Liddell. I adored this book. I loved it so much. It was such a cute book, and I feel so happy every time I see it in a bookstore. So go read it now. Go buy it online. Cute, adorable young adult romance book. After that, I finished the Simon Snow series by I had read the two first ones last year. I enjoyed it. Was it my favorite book of the series? No. But was it fun? Sure. It was kind of like just like a I don't know what to read book, and then I ended up reading a 500-page book. Then I read The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks. I love this book. Probably my second favorite in the Montague siblings series. First one is the first one, this one is the second one. I don't know why, but I always end up liking the first, almost always end up liking the first and third one most, like more than the second one in trilogies. But yeah, this one was really cute. It kind of got me into the summery vibe in June. Was it in May? I can't remember. Then I read Going Viral. I think I rated this one a 3 stars. It was good, okay. Didn't enjoy it that much. Well, no, I did enjoy it, but I didn't think about it at all after that. Then I read I thought I was about to start talking about 2 of my favorite books of the year, but no, there's another book about that, before that. Then I read The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. I found this book okay. Wasn't that good, wasn't that bad. Just a forgettable read. Then I read It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I am a Tessa Bailey stan now. After I read these 2 books, this one was kind of annotated, not that much. This one, oh my god, my most annotated book. I loved these 2 books. I read them so quickly, adored them. After that, what did I read? Oh yeah, I went from amazing books to A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee, I think. So I already went on a rant, I think, about this book. You guys already know my feelings. Give this a 2 star or 1 star. I think I changed it to 1 star. Really, like, I wanted to love it. I just couldn't. I ended up hating it. The premise of the book was good. The way it was made wasn't good. After that, I read the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. I read all 3 books in 3 days. I adored them. Amazing series. I cannot wait to read The Stolen Heir. That's about Oak, I think. Oakley? No, Oak. But yeah. After that, oh my god, I didn't skip a book. After that, I read Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. The Sword of Summer in the Magnus Chase series. As you guys know, I'm a big Rick Riordan fan. I love Rick Riordan's books. I cannot wait for the Percy series. Then I read 99 Days by Katie Catugo. I don't know, I can't, like, it's in tiny writing, like, on my lap. Catugo, I think. This book was okay. It was good. I completely forgot about it, like, for the rest of the year, but other than that, it was good. Then I read Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. I love this series, and I read the second book. I absolutely love this series. Have I read any of the other books? No, because they're not on my library, and they're not on Libby, so I have to buy them, and I'm a book student. Yeah, after that, I read Steel Striker by Marie Lu. This book was good. Did I like it as much as the first one? No, but it was good. It was a good way to end the series. I couldn't stop reading it. After that, I read Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This book, I read the entire series. I loved the first one. The second one was okay. And the third one was amazing. I love the characters. It made me wish I went to the American High School in Paris. After that, I read, so now it's gonna be a bunch of ebooks because I went on vacation for, like, I went on a long road trip and I couldn't bring any physical books. I read Ghosted by J.M. Dower. You guys already know, as I stated earlier in this video, I love single parent romances. Amazing. Love this book. Then I read I Kissed Shara Wheeler. Oh my god, I love Casey McQuiston books. Amazing. After that, I read, so as you can tell, I went, like, in those months I read, I didn't read that many, but, like, single parent romances. I read Meet Me Halfway by Lillian T. James. This one I also read because of a random recommendation on TikTok, and I loved it. Amazing. Then I read Marriage for One by Ella Mays. Once again, it was really good. in like the months of July and August, I didn't read that many books, but I read a lot of like amazing books that I adored. After that, I read Meet Me in the Margins by Melissa Ferguson. Completely forgot about that book, but I think I liked it. After that, I read Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. You guys, I've already stated my love for Christina Lauren. Loved that book. I loved like all of the like explore things in the book. Then I read Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. I love Nick and Charlie. Amazing. I think I all read like, I think they were all like 4 or 5 stars in no, other than one that was 3.5 in the month of July. After that, I read Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. That book, cried, laughed. At the end, especially, I cried. Then I read Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. I love that book. Well, liked. I will not be reading the second one because I've heard things that like the book was okay. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way. Then I read this one I read later in the year, but the Spoiler Alert series by Olivia Dade. Guys, go read that series. It has plus size rep. It's amazing. It's, if you're a nerd, especially like and someone who's in fandoms as a like younger, go read it. It's, the first one is Spoiler Alert, the second one is All the Feels, and the third one is Shipwrecked. And so like the first two I think are like fan and celebrity, and this one is celebrity. Amazing. I loved it. Then I reread Malibu Rising. Then I read Culty and The Wall of Winnipeg by Mariana Zapata. I loved Culty. But I preferred The Wall of Winnipeg, especially that I read it when I was in Winnipeg, but I was disappointed to find out that it didn't happen in Winnipeg. And the last book in this clip, and then I'm going to film another clip, is The Rest of the Story by Sarah Dessen. This book was so cute. By the end of the summer, and I wanted to be like, at that point I was like, I needed to be summer again. I need to continue reading cute summer books. So yeah, so this will be the last clip of all the books I read. This is from mid to end of August to December. I read less books in those months because I was in school, and since I was in a literature program, I was switching to sciences next semester. This semester I'm not taking any like program courses. The school system is different where I live, like from the rest, it's different in Quebec than the rest of Canada. But basically, I was in a reading slump for for part of December, most of November, and then all of like October, September, and like end of August. I can't speak anymore. So after The Rest of the Story, these three I read in 3 different months, but I'm still gonna talk about it now. I read the first 3 books of the Addicted / Calloway sisters. I love these books. I love the characters. In some ways, not always, but in some ways I feel like I'm kind of like Lily. I love like in the like personality type. I'm a nerd, big Marvel nerd, but anyway, I felt like I could relate a lot to some of the characters and like different aspects of certain characters, so I adored this, like the first 3 books, and then I'm gonna continue reading it this year. My goal is to finish the year with reading, like to have done the Calloway sisters and Addicted this year, and then maybe next year I'll read the Like Us, but I'm not sure yet. I probably will, especially with the new covers that came out. They're really cute. After the Addicted series, I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Oh my god, I love this book. It was really cute. I love Emily Henry. People are like, oh, you either love 2 or like only 1 about Emily Henry books. I enjoyed them all. I love her writing, and I cannot wait for Happy Place. Though I'm really sad, and I have beef with the publisher. Well, not really, but because I was denied an arc of Happy Place on NetGalley, and I want to cry. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. After that, I read The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. I thought I knew the plot of this book by the back. I was like, oh, like you already know most of the plot, like what's gonna happen. The plot twist, oh my god, this book was so good and cute. I loved it. And it's people say it's a romance, but it's not much of a romance. I think it's more of a like contemporary. I'm just gonna put this on the bed. After that, I read Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This one was, I liked a bit less than The Love Hypothesis, but I still really enjoyed it. It was really cute. As someone who's going into sciences, and I now appreciate even more these Ali Hazelwood books, I can feel like the character, and yeah. And everyone was saying, oh, the galaxy leggings, like she literally wears them once. We all have that one pair, like, I don't know, maybe it's a really old pair of leggings that she had when she was younger, and she still kept them because it's good for the planet to keep your clothes. Anyway, sorry for the mini rant. Then I read Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I read it in one sitting. Like, it was a Sunday night. I read it, flew through it, amazing, loved it. I'm now currently reading the second book. And then I read Funny You Should Ask by Elisa Sussman. Everyone's like, oh, this book is so, either people love this book or don't really like it because it's written like a fanfic. But I adore books that are written like a fanfic because it just brings me back to being 13 and reading fanfics. But yeah, this one was really good. It was really cute. If you see that my thoughts are like about the books are the quality of the thoughts are going down, it's because I've been filming this video for like half an hour. No, half an hour? 25 minutes? No, half an hour, and I'm going crazy, but it's fine. Because I love talking about these books. After that, I read 2 school books, and then Anne of Green Gables. I watched the movies that were made in the 80s when I was really young with my grandma, the Canadian movies. I love them. I haven't watched the series yet, but I recommend you go watch the movies. They're really good. I absolutely loved the book. Then I read, oh, I already talked about The Phantom Gambit. I read If We're Villains by Emil Rigo. This was the first one I used with like a tab with like aesthetic tabs. It was really good. I read it in October, so perfect month to read it. And I cried at the end, and I felt pretentious while reading it, so it was fun. It was a fun experience. Then I read the Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince. I haven't read Clockwork Princess because my mental health could not handle that right now. But I really enjoyed them. They were really good books. I hated The Mortal Instrument, but I'm really enjoying these. After that, I read Love from A to Z and Love from Mecca to Medina. These were really cute romance books. I loved them. After that, I read It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I loved that book. Liked. I now, like, the older I get, the more time I spend as a reader, I think I still enjoy Colleen Hoover books. I don't support the author. Go look up what she did. It's just, anyway, I enjoy them less and less, but I'll still read them until I don't enjoy them anymore. Well, I might, but I won't like buy them. I'll read them on Kindle Unlimited, which doesn't support her. Then I read Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Oh my god, I love this book. So it feels weird for me to read like senior books in high school, like books of characters that are senior in high school, because technically they're my age, but I graduated high school last year, because once again, the province that I live, the school system is weird, but I still loved reading this book. After that, I finished, this one I started reading in May, but I finished it in one night, I think. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Yeah, James Clear. Yes, I think this is the only non-fiction book that I read this year. I did it because I was like, ooh, I want to get more habits and like become that girl. And I mean, it kind of worked. I know more tips now, and I enjoyed the book. Like, it was a fun read to me. Even though it was technically supposed to be fully educational, it was still like, ooh, enjoying it. Then I read, okay, I didn't buy it because I, once again, do not want to support Sarah J. Maas. I do not condone her actions, but I borrowed it from the library. I read A Court of Silver Flames, and I was reading it to film a video that was like, I read the entire series, like entire ACOTAR series, and hated it, and like, here's why you shouldn't read it. Like, just like, not author, but like plot based. But I ended up loving the last book. I hated the other ones because they were in Farrah's point of view, and I don't like Farrah, she's so annoying. But I absolutely, like, I loved Court of Silver Flames. I cried, I laughed, but I rated it 4 stars, I think. So because there's some parts that I didn't enjoy as much. Then I read The American Roommate Experience by Elena Armas. Loved it. If People are like, oh, I don't like it, but I loved it. This is a common theme, people not enjoying books and me liking them. Then I read Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Rated at 3 stars. It would have been a 4 if it hadn't taken me so long to read it, but still, pretty enjoyable book. Then I read Never Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez, and oh my god, I would have loved having that sapphic book when I was like 12. It was amazing. Just go read it. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars, I think. Then I read Gearbreakers by Zoe Hana-Mikuta. I really wanted to like this book. I really did. But I ended up reading it, I think, at 3 stars. Just I enjoyed the first, like, this part of the book, like, here. But then the rest kind of, like, I don't know, I didn't like it as much. But I will not be getting rid of this copy because it is autographed and keep that. Then I read probably one of my favorite books of the year, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. Go read it now. It's a perfect winter vibe book. It's mostly like Christmas season, holiday season, but I really love this book. It was really cute. It was I bought this for myself as a end of semester gift because it's a rest semester. But I loved it. Then I read 'Tis the Season for Revenge by I cannot read the name of that author, but I loved it. It was so cute, and yeah, it was a really good holiday book. Then I read King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I've been wanting to read this book since since October when it came out, but I didn't, and I ended up reading it in like 1 or 2 days, and it was amazing. I loved it. I cannot wait for the rest of the books. Then I read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy, and I think I ended up rating it 3.75 out of 5. In the beginning I was like, oh, I hate these characters and like they're so obnoxious and all that, but then you like, the further you get into the book, the more you like uncover about the characters and the more you get to love them. Then I read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and I ended up really liking it. I read it as a quick read because I was in the car and I was like, I'm bored, let's read this and see what I'll think about it. I really thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I ended up really liking it. I give it a 4. Like, now that I think about it, you'll see my reading goals in like a future video for like this year, but I want to be a harsher critic anyways. Like, here's a little like spoiler for that video. But yeah, so now I think I'd rate it a 3.5 or a 3.75, but still. Then I read Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold, and oh my god, that book, amazing. Go read it now. I really loved it. It was really good. Then I read The Love Match by Priyanka Taslim, I think. This was an arc that I got. I ended up reading it, I think, a 3.5. I love the book, but I just think that some parts of I cannot speak anymore today. I'm not gonna like just say my whole review. It's on my Instagram if you want to see it. Same thing for Never Getting Back Together that I talked about earlier. It is in my bio, in the link tree in the like little description of the video. All my social media is on there. And then now the last book of the year, By a Thread by Lucy Score. I think I would rate it a 3.75 now that I think about it, but I still really enjoyed it. It was a cute book. It was a nice way to end the year. I would have preferred like to end the year with like a 5-star, but like still, that's still better than like 2 stars. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, liking, going to watch other videos, or even commenting down below some more videos you want to see. Once again, I really hope you liked this video. Please comment down how many, like, if you want to, comment down as many, like, the number of books you read in 2022 and the amount of books you want to read in 2023. So yeah, like I said earlier, all of my social medias, Instagram, Pinterest, are like Spotify, everything is linked down in the description of the video. if you're like, Alexa, why like later this week are your videos? Like, why do you have the same outfit? It's not because I wear the same outfit every day. It's because I'm filming 3 videos this afternoon. Also I'm posting 3 videos this week because I was gone for, I was gone for about 2-3 weeks and I didn't post anything, and I thought I would make up for it this week, and then I'll try to go back to 2 videos a week after that. So yeah, have a nice day, or night or evening, whatever time it is where you are. So, and yeah, so bye.